Once upon a time in a village called Miri, there lived many creatures and humans. In this village lived a girl named Naya. She was very beautiful, with a calm and gentle nature. People in the village admired her beauty and kindness. The men of the village would often try to win her heart, saying, "Naya, you are so lovely. Will you marry me?" But Naya wasn't interested. She always smiled and said, "Thank you, but I'm not ready." Every day, Naya would go to the market to sell her goods. She had the best fruits and vegetables, and everyone loved to buy from her. But no one knew where Naya lived. She always came to the market early and left before dusk, keeping her home a secret. The villagers would whisper, "Where does Naya go? Where does she live?" But Naya kept it a mystery. She was happy to be kind and helpful but didn't share much about herself. And so, Naya lived quietly in Miri, admired by everyone but keeping her life private. The villagers continued to wonder about the beautiful girl who came and went like a gentle breeze. One sunny day, a handsome man named Tari came to the market in Miri village. He was looking for some fresh fruits and vegetables, and when he saw Naya, he was stunned. "Wow," he thought. "She is the most beautiful girl I've ever seen." Tari couldn't take his eyes off her. He walked over and said, "Hello, my name is Tari. What's your name?" Naya smiled softly and replied, "I'm Naya. How can I help you today?" Tari was so happy to talk to her. He bought some fruits and stayed to chat. They talked about the weather, the village, and the market. Tari was enchanted by Naya's gentle voice and kind smile. He started coming to the market every day just to see her. They became friends, and Tari felt like he was falling in love. One evening, as the market was closing, Tari noticed it was getting late. He saw Naya packing up her things and offered, "Let me walk you home. It's not safe to go alone in the dark." Naya hesitated, but Tari insisted. She agreed, and they began walking. As they walked, the sky grew darker, and the air became chilly. Suddenly, Tari felt something strange. A cold hand touched his back. He turned around, but no one was there. His heart raced, and he felt scared. He looked at Naya, who seemed calm, walking ahead. Tari couldn't shake the fear. He stopped and said, "Naya, I think I should go back. It's getting too dark." Naya turned to him and gently said, "It's okay, Tari, you can go back if you're scared." She smiled softly. With fear in his eyes, Tari nodded and hurried back to the village. He ran and ran until he reached his home. From that day, Tari never returned to the market to see Naya again. He was too scared of the mysterious cold hand and the dark night. Naya missed him but continued her peaceful life in the village. The villagers wondered why Tari suddenly stopped visiting the market, but no one knew the secret of that night. Naya had a secret. She wasn't just an ordinary girl from the village. She was actually from the deep magical forest beyond Miri. In the forest, Naya lived with her family, who were not human. They had the ability to take different forms, but Naya was the only one who could look like a human all the time. Her family loved her very much, but they didn't want her to get close to humans. Her parents had always warned her, saying, "Naya, you must not marry a human. Our world and theirs are too different." They were very protective of her. When Tari started visiting Naya, her parents got worried. They didn't want her to fall in love with him, so they decided to scare him away. The cold hand that Tari felt on his back was her family's doing, a trick to keep him away from Naya. Naya felt sad. She liked Tari and wanted to have friends in the village. She didn't want to live under her family's rules anymore. She wanted to be free to make her own choices and live among humans. So Naya made a big decision. She decided to cut ties with her family in the forest and stay in Miri village. One day, she went deep into the forest to say goodbye to her family. She told them, "I love you, but I want to live my own life. I want to be free to make my own choices." Her parents were sad but understood her wish. They warned her one last time, "Be careful, Naya. The world outside can be harsh." With a heavy heart, Naya left the forest and moved to the village for good. She continued to sell her goods in the market, keeping her past a secret. The villagers only knew her as the beautiful and kind girl from the market, not knowing the magical world she came from. "Please help me lift it so I can find happiness and be free from this burden," Naya pleaded. Izora appeared in a soft, glowing light. The spirit listened to Naya's plea and saw the sincerity in her eyes. "Naya, you have endured much because of this curse," Izora said gently. "I can lift the curse from you, but there is a condition. You must remain calm and never let anger take over your heart. If you get angry, the curse will return, and it will be even stronger." Naya nodded eagerly, her eyes full of hope. "I promise, Izora. I will stay calm and keep my heart pure. Please lift the curse," she vowed. With a wave of Izora's hand, a warm, gentle breeze surrounded Naya. She felt a weight lift off her shoulders, and the curse was gone. Naya felt a new sense of freedom and hope. She thanked Izora with all her heart and returned to Mary village, determined to live a good life. Back in the village, Naya continued her daily routine. She sold her goods at the market and greeted everyone with her usual kindness. The villagers admired her beauty and calm demeanor. They didn't know about the curse or the struggle she had faced, but they could see the gentle and serene person she was. Naya felt lighter, knowing the curse was gone. She remained mindful of her promise to Izora, keeping her emotions in check and staying calm in every situation. She hoped that one day she would find someone who could love her for who she was, free from the shadows of her past. And so Naya continued to live in Miri village, admired and respected by many, always holding on to hope for a brighter future. One warm afternoon, Naya went to the village stream to fetch water. As she sat on a rock, thinking about her life and the challenges she had faced, she felt a deep sadness. She missed having someone to share her life with. As she sat there, a gentle voice called out, "Are you okay?" Naya looked up and saw a kind-faced man standing by the water. He had a warm smile and gentle eyes. "My name is Kanu," he said, walking closer. "You looked sad, and I wanted to make sure you're all right." Naya felt a warmth from his kindness. "Thank you, Kanu." "I'm Naya," she replied softly. They talked for a while, and Naya found herself opening up to him. Kanu listened with care and comforted her, making her feel at ease. Over the days, Kanu and Naya met often at the stream. They would talk and laugh, and Naya felt a bond growing between them. Kanu was kind and understanding, and he didn't pry into her past, he just enjoyed her company and made her feel valued. One day, Kanu told Naya, "I care about you, Naya. You are a wonderful person, and I want to be with you." Naya was surprised. She felt a mix of emotions, hope, fear, and a bit of happiness. She hesitated, remembering the curse and her past heartbreaks. But Kanu's sincerity touched her heart. "I like you too, Kanu," Naya finally said. "But I've been through a lot. Are you sure you want to be with me?" Kanu nodded with a smile. "I am sure, Naya. Let's make a life together." And so they became close. Kanu treated Naya with respect and care, and she found herself growing fond of him. They spent time together, and their bond deepened. It wasn't long before Kanu proposed to Naya. He wanted to make her his wife and share a happy life with her. With joy in her heart, Naya accepted his proposal. They began to plan their wedding, dreaming of a future together filled with love and happiness. For the first time in a long while, Naya felt a true sense of hope. She believed that with Kanu, she could finally find the peace and love she had been searching for. The village buzzed with excitement for the upcoming wedding, and Naya felt a warm glow of happiness, hoping this would be the start of a beautiful new chapter in her life. The day of Naya and Kanu's wedding arrived, and the village of Miri was filled with excitement. Everyone gathered in the village square, decorated with colorful flowers and bright banners. The villagers danced, sang, and celebrated, happy to see Naya and Konu together. The air was filled with joy and laughter as they exchanged vows under the warm sun. Naya looked radiant in her beautiful dress, and Konu couldn't stop smiling. They promised to love and cherish each other, surrounded by the cheers and blessings of the villagers. It was a perfect day, and everyone felt the love and happiness in the air. As night fell, the couple retired to their new home, ready to start their life together. But as they prepared to rest, something strange happened. Naya began to feel uneasy. Her body felt different, and a cold shiver ran down her spine. She looked at Konu with worry in her eyes. Suddenly, Naya's body started to change. Her legs fused together. Her skin turned scaly. And before they knew it, she transformed into a giant python. Konu's eyes widened in shock and terror. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. Naya, now a huge snake, looked at him with sad eyes. Overcome with fear, Konu screamed and ran out of the house. He stumbled through the village, shouting for help. The villagers, hearing his cries, quickly gathered around their home. They saw Konu pale and shaken, pointing toward the house. The villagers cautiously approached. And there, slithering out of the doorway, was the giant python. They gasped and backed away, murmuring in fear and confusion. They had never seen anything like it. Some of the elders whispered, "Is this the curse we've heard about?" The joy of the wedding had turned into a night of fear and confusion. The villagers didn't know what to do. They were scared of the giant snake but also remembered the kind Naya. The village square, which had been filled with laughter and music just hours before, now stood silent with everyone watching in disbelief. The village elders decided to call for the oracle, hoping for answers and a solution to this shocking event. The village elders decided to call for the oracle, hoping for answers and a solution to this shocking event. By dawn, the oracle arrived, her eyes deep with knowledge. She stood before the frightened villagers and listened carefully to Konu's account. Then she turned to the python, Naya, who remained still, her eyes sorrowful. "This is not a monster," the oracle said solemnly. "This is Naya, who once bore a great curse. Though it was lifted, it seems the promise was broken. Her transformation is the return of the curse." Konu stepped forward, shaking. "It happened after we married. I didn't do anything to hurt her, I love her." The oracle placed her hand on his shoulder. "This curse is not from hatred or evil, it is bound to her emotions." Something awakened the anger she tried to suppress. Naya, still in python form, let out a soft hiss, almost like a sigh. The oracle turned to her and whispered ancient words. A light shimmered around Naya, and for a moment, her form flickered. "Half woman, half serpent. I can speak to her spirit," the oracle said. "Give me space." The villagers stepped back. The oracle knelt, eyes closed, murmuring to Naya's soul. The air grew still. Then she stood again. "Naya feels betrayed," the oracle said softly. "Not by Konu, but by fate." She feared losing love once more, and that fear grew into anger deep within, an anger she didn't even recognize. That alone was enough to awaken the curse again. Konu stepped closer, tears in his eyes. "How can I help her?" The oracle looked at him. "You must remind her that love remains. That fear is not stronger than the bond you share." Konu nodded. He walked slowly to Naya, his hands raised gently. "Naya, I know you're in there. I love you. This form doesn't change who you are. I don't care what you become. I only care that you're still you." Naya blinked slowly, tears forming in her snake-like eyes. The villagers watched in silence. "You told me everything once," he continued. "You shared your pain. Let me carry it with you. You're not alone." A soft glow began to form around Naya. The scales shimmered. Her tail receded. Slowly, painfully, her human form began to return. Naya collapsed to the ground, her body once again that of a woman, trembling and weak. Konyo rushed to her, wrapping her in his arms. "I'm here," he whispered. "I'm not going anywhere." The villagers watched in awe. The oracle nodded with satisfaction. The curse responds not only to anger, but also to love. You must now guard your heart, both of you, or it will return again. The villagers came forward, offering Naya clothing and support. Their fear had turned to understanding. From that day forward, Naya and Konu lived carefully and intentionally. They planted a garden outside their home, a reminder to always nurture what they had, to let love grow daily. Naya still bore the memory of the curse and the weight of her past, but she no longer carried it alone. With Konu by her side, she found strength in vulnerability, and freedom in trust. And though the threat of the curse lingered like a shadow, they faced each day with love, never letting anger take root again. Miri village would never forget the woman who once became a python, nor the man who chose to love her anyway. Movie camera, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story and want more magical tales, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Drop a comment below, I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep the stories alive.